welcome to the last lesson of the week with our topic ratio and proportion. I'm sorry it's another non-live lesson, but I've not been 100% this week, so I thought, right, I'll just record them when I feel okay, and then at least they're there for you to use. I do miss you all. I miss doing the shout outs, and I miss all your answers and your enthusiasm, so thank you for still taking part outside of the live times. I know it's been a tricky one this week, because I'll keep saying that yes, it is higher year 6 and it's going into key stage 3, so even if you've just been watching or even giving it a go, then that's amazing. Next week I'm going to go back to a fully key stage 2 open topic. I'll tell you at the end of the video what it's going to be. So today we are finishing ratio and proportion by just doing more examples of ratio and proportion. It's a very heavy real life scenario topic, so you don't really get a question that isn't related to real life scenarios. Obviously with like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, you can literally just get 236 out of 483. There's no context there, whereas you can get word problems, whereas ratio and proportion is almost always a problem. So I'm going to start off, dive right into the challenge questions that I posted in the morning before this lesson. We'll go through those. I just want to remind you that if I'm doing a question and you want to actually do it yourself beforehand, just press pause and then you can work it out yourself, and then obviously if you press go, you'll see what the answer comes up as. So I'll keep reminding you, say, right, press pause now if you don't want to see the answer straight away. So question 1 on the challenge question was, there are 15 girls and 12 boys in a class. So 15 girls and 12 boys in a class. The question says, what is the ratio of girls to boys? Give your answer in its simplest form. So girls to boys, so the ratio is 15 to 12. But we need it in our simplest form, and like simplifying fractions, okay? So you've got to look at both numbers and think, right, what factors are there of 15 and 12? Which times table? So 15 isn't in the 2's, 15 is in the 3's. So 1 3 is 3, 2 3 is 6, 3 3 is 9, 4 3's are 12, 5 3's are 15. So I can divide them both by 3. So 4 3's are 12 and 5 3's are 15. So the smallest, simplest form ratio is 5 to 4. So well done if you got that. Question 2 was, David and his friends prepare a picnic. Each person at the picnic will get, so they get 3 sandwiches, 2 bananas. Oh, I don't think I can eat 2 bananas in a picnic. I think I'll just about manage 1, but not 2. And 1 packet of crisps. So 1 packet of crisps. Oh, that's a big lunch. The children pack 45 sandwiches. How many bananas do they pack? Right, so this is what is for each person. Okay? And we are then told that there's 45 sandwiches. So 3 becomes 45. And then we need to know what the bananas become. Okay? So you think, right, what do I do to 3 to make it into 45? How's the ratio changed? What have I multiplied it by to make it into 45? So let's divide 45 by 3. What's it been times by? So that's 1, and then carry the 1. So 13. Okay, because you do 3 into 4 is 1, carry the 1, and oh no, it's not 3, it's 5. 5. Oh, you know how Steph makes mistakes. So 3, 5, 5. Oh no! What am I doing wrong here? So 1 3 is 3, 2 3 is 6, 3 3 is 9, 4 3 is 12, 5 3 is 15. I'm losing it today. It's Friday. So you will have times it by 15. So to make 3 into 45, you times it by 15. You need to now do the same to the 2. Because if 3 sandwiches becomes 45 sandwiches by timesing it 15, you need to times the 2 bananas by 15 to get the equal amount. 2 lots of 15 is 30, so it's 30 bananas. Okay. The crisps is easy, isn't it? So you just times that by 15, so there'll be 15 crisps. Extra question there. And the last question from the challenge questions was a recipe to make, so you can see these are all like, you know, how many kids are in the classroom, how many items are needed at the picnic. This is a cooking question, so you can see these are all real life scenarios. A recipe to make lasagna for 6 people uses 300 grams of beef. Okay, so I'm already putting the ratio there. For 6, it's 300. How much minced beef would be need to serve 8 people? Right, now, if you watched yesterday, you'll realise this is a proportion question. Why is it a proportion question when there's a ratio sign? Because we can't simply jump from 6 to 8, okay? 8 is not in the 6 times table. We can't halve it because that will become 3. So we need to change it to a different ratio. So we're stepping out of the balance and we're getting a proportion of it and then going to 8. What we could do is make 6 into 1. So we divide it by 6, make it one amount, and then times that by 8. But you'll notice they're both even numbers. So what we actually can do is make it into 2. And you divide that by 3. Because then when you've done that, you would times that by 4 and we get our answer. So that's the method. We divide it by 3 and then times it by 4, and that will give us how much beef is needed for 8 people. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So what is 300 divided by 3? Oh, 300 divided by 3, 100. So for 6 people, you need 300 grams of beef. For 2 people, you need 100 grams of beef. So for 8 people, now to make 2 into 8, we times it by 4. So we'll times this by 4. So that's 400 grams. So for 8 people, you need 400 grams of minced beef. So those were 3 challenge questions. Well done if you gave them a go, or you were just watching. So now it's the 2 other questions. Now this is quite a fun question because there's a pizza question. All the information is going to stay up, but there's loads of questions about the topic. So a pizza, and it's for 4 people. Okay. So here's the instructions for making a pizza for 4 people. This isn't real, by the way. This is made up. Okay. You need 300 grams of flour. You need half a tablespoon of salt. That's the shorthand for tablespoon. TBSP. That's true in real life. Okay. You need 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce. I'm just going to put tomato sauce. I'll squeeze it underneath. You need 200 grams of cheese. Mozzarella cheese is the best for that. And toppings of your choice. Okay, so we'll not add that on though, because it depends on what pizza you want. It could be pepperoni, ham and pineapple, chicken, all sorts. Right, so this stays the same because this is our instructions. Okay, that's what's on the packet. That's what's in the cookery book. Now we think about, well, what if I want to make a pizza for more people or for less people? What if I've got a certain amount of flour? How would I change the rest of the recipe? So, if I was making if I was making 1 pizza, okay, how much cheese would I need? I don't want to make the pizza for 4 people. I'm just making the pizza for myself. How much cheese would I need? So for 4 people, it was 200 grams to put the ratio on, and you need to make it into, for 1 person, So to make it from 4 into 1, by the way, sorry, stop. If you want to obviously have a go, make sure you just stop whenever I say a question. So to make it into 1 person, divide it by 4. And then do the same to the 200, divided by 4. So 1 4 is 4, 2 4s are 8, 3 4s are 12, 4 4s are 16, 5 4s are 20, and then add the 0. So how many grams of cheese would you need? 50. So 1 person would need 50 grams of cheese. Let's try another question based on the recipe. To make 8 pizzas, so we want 8 pizzas this time, how much salt would we need? So for 4 people, we need half a tablespoon of salt. And we want it now to go to 8 people. We want double the amount of pizza. So we times that by 2, and we times this by 2. So what's 2 lots of half? What's half times by 2? What's a half and a half? It's 1. So it would be 1 whole tablespoon of salt. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. If 6 tablespoons of tomato sauce is used, if 6 tablespoons of tomato sauce is used, how many pizzas would this make? So, 4 pizzas uses 2 tablespoons. Okay, and we've got 6 tablespoons available to us. So how many pizzas could we make? Right, so I'll look at the set. This is obviously this is from the set recipe. So what do I do to 2 to make it into 6? 2 times 3 is 6, so I'll do the same to this time. So this side, so it's 4 times 3 is 12. So if I have 6 tablespoons of tomato sauce, I can make 12 pizzas. See, all these problems that can be made up, that can be tested just from one piece of information. If 150 grams of flour is used, how much of the other ingredients would be needed? All right. So 150 grams of flour, let's compare it. This is an easy one because we need 300 grams of flour for this recipe and we only have 150. That means it's half the amount. So you would need to have half of the rest of the ingredients because 150 is half of 300. So it'll be 150 grams of flour. And then half, right, so what's half of the rest of these ingredients? Well, half of 200 is 100, so that'll be 100 grams of cheese. So this is thinking how much would 2 pizzas make? This is easy, so it'd be 1 tablespoon of tomato sauce. And then for the salt, what is half of a half? If you split a half in half, that is a quarter. Yeah? And last question, based on this pizza recipe. I'm going to change the pen for that again. Keep it fun. How many pizzas would 600 grams of mozzarella make? So for 4 pizzas, it's 200 grams. Okay? And we've got 600 grams of cheese, mozzarella cheese. So how many pizzas would this make? So we look at the set ratio and how do we change it? So what do you do to 200 to make it into 600? You times it by 3. Do the same to this side. 4 times 3 is 12. So 600 grams of cheese would make 12 pizzas. So you see, from one bit of information, there's all sorts of different ways. And I do that in real life. making a cake, making cookies. I made some cookies the other day, and you could just think, right, you could change the ratio, so it might be that the cookies, it made like 30 cookies. I thought, I have been eating 30 cookies, I can just fit into these jeans. But you think, well, I'm not going to eat 30 cookies with my husband, so I halved the amount, so I made 15 cookies, which is still plenty. So I had to halve everything in the recipe. So like I say, you use ratio and portion all the time in real life. Last question. Okay. In a shop, cheddar cheese costs 17. Cheddar cheese costs £7.50 for 1 kilogram. So in the shop, 1 kilogram of cheese costs £7.50. Now if you're thinking that's quite £7.50 on cheese, a kilogram is very heavy. A kilogram, if you get a big bag of flour, that's a kilogram. So that's a good price for cheese. Marie buys 200 grams of cheddar cheese. So Marie buys 200 grams of cheese. How much does she pay? Right. So we need to think, right, if we know £7.50 is 1 kilogram, what is 200 grams worth? First thing we need to do, oh, by the way, remember, stop if you want to have a go. I'm going to change this. Oh, you shouldn't change the ratio, should you? I'm going to change it. I'm not changing the ratio, I'm just changing the amount. 1,000 grams is a kilogram. So now this will help me, because now I can change 1,000, so it's 200. How many lots of 200 are in 1,000? So 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. So I divide it by 5. Now I've got to do the same to this side. So I do £7.50 divided by 5. If you want to stop and do this calculation, you can. So there's 1, 5 and 7. Carry the 2 over. 5 5s are 25 and 0. So my answer is £1.50. So 200 grams of cheese costs £1.50 when 1 kilogram of cheese costs £7.50. Oh, I think after that mistake with my calculation at the beginning, got there in the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that helped a little bit, but like I say, don't worry if you're not quite sure, it is a hard topic. Next week, though, I had a lovely request. I can't remember who it's from. Said, oh, could you? My child loves watching your videos. Can you try this, and this topic? And I'd actually genuinely run out of ideas. And then they sent me this idea, and I thought, amazing. Next week, we're going to do mean, median, mode, and range. Okay, so it's average data, so finding the mean, median, mode, and range. I'm sure a lot of you have already looked at that, and I'm really going to break it down and make it nice and easy. We're going to do one day at a time. So I think we're going to do the mode on Monday, and then the median on Tuesday, and the mean on Wednesday, and then range on Thursday, and then as ever on the Friday, we'll do some word problems linked to all of them. So I hope you can join me next week. Have a lovely weekend. See you later. Bye.